Hello everyone. In this video we are going to learn about the ID and the class selectors. In the previous video we have learned the element selectors, right? And from here we are going to learn ID and the class selectors. Okay, let me proceed further. Okay, I am opening our project in Visual Studio Code Editor, and this is the project that we did till the previous video. Okay, and the result will be looks like this. After adding some text styles to our text elements, the result will be looking like this. And if you observe carefully, we missed something that we need to apply to our text. Like, see here, these are the unordered list elements, right? These are the unordered list items. For this, there is no any change in their properties. They are as it is, like they are as in starting of our course, right? Basically, these are the list items that are separated in another tag like ul tag, that is an unordered list tag, right? For this we need to include in our Visual Studio Code Editor CSS file, like for all the list items. If I include for all the list items for the same attributes like font size to same nearly, I want to make them as 22 pixels. Okay, and then I want to make the font family as Times New Roman only. Okay, I want to make, okay, we are done. And if we observe the change in it, okay, see these list items. See here, one thing is, when we are taking the element selector as the list elements, it is referred to both the unordered list elements and for the ordered list elements. Where are the ordered list elements? Here, it is applicable for both ordered list elements and the unordered list elements. That is, we are using the selector for the list elements, so that the tags which are between the list items will be applicable for all these properties. Okay, if I give a save over here and if I make a refresh, see the change. You can observe the change over this here. See, these are the ordered list items, right? These are the ordered list items and these are the unordered list items, and we made a change for all these list items in a separate selector like list items. Okay, for example, if you want to remove the bullet points for these unordered list items, you may also include unordered list. For this we may include like list style, right? For list style, if you give none for this list style, for this unordered list items, if you give list style as none, the keyword none, if you applied for the property of the list style for the unordered list selector, you will be deleted with these bulleted points. These bulleted points will be removed from your unordered list. See the change over here. I am giving a save and I am refreshing. See, all the unordered list bullet points will be removed from our list items, right? This is the way to remove the all the bullet points from the unordered list items. Okay, for example, you can also use for the ordered list items. If I give the here ordered list items and giving a save over here, if I give a refresh, see here, the bullet points for the unordered list items will be as it is, like it is, but here for the ordered list items we are deleted with 1 2 3 4. The ordered lists will be removed from our page. Okay, but I need it. Let me make in a comment. Okay, and coming to our original topic, our topic is about selectors, right? In this video we are going to learn about the ID selector and the class selector. In the previous video we have learned about the element selectors. Okay, these are the general element selectors, right? In this video we are going to learn about the ID selector and the class selector. Generally these both ID selector and the class selector is used to select the HTML element. That means we are using some ID attribute and the class attribute in this. Those are used to select the HTML elements. For example, for this same selector, I want to make ID selector for this. For that purpose, in this article, this is header, this is the p items. For this purpose, if I use article as ID equals to, if I use something like father, I am giving the name as father. For example, if I use ID attribute in the p tag, okay, in the p tag, if I use ID attribute, I am giving some reference name as father. Okay, by using that reference name, you need to initiate here, right? You need to make a selector. For that, if I given here, see here, one thing that you need to keep in mind is, for element selectors, we are directly calling those elements, right? We are directly considering that selectors without any extra symbols, right? For calling of our ID selectors and the class selector, we have some special symbols to identify them, right? For the ID selector, we use hash symbol for calling them, and we are giving the name as father, right? As father, we are giving the properties like same as the original. If you check like this, where is the ID? Here. These are the two things that we changed just now in the form of ID selector, right? See, after I am saving here is, and after giving a refresh, there will be no change in this paragraphs, because we are running the same operation as it was in before, but we are turning the method into the ID selector. Like, we are taking one ID attribute here. By taking this ID attribute with a reference name father, we are changing the properties of the selector with hash father reference, right? Okay, I am giving a refresh over here. See here, there is no change in this. Okay, there is no change in this. But the thing you need to understand here is, there is a change in this paragraph, because we are not referred to this paragraph. Okay, the ID equal to father, it is an special attribute that we are only included in this paragraph element, but we are not given anything to this para, so that it will be acquiring the properties from the p paragraph, right? From this p selector, it will be directly acquiring the properties. Okay, if you need to change if you want to make changes to this para also, for this entire paragraph, you need to make the changes with the same properties as this in an ID selector. For that, we need to use another ID attribute for this paragraph also. For this p tag, I am using another attribute like ln, right? ln. After giving a save over here and going to this, I am copying the same content from here, because we need the same attributes, right? We need the same properties. Like, I am using ln over here. If I give a save over here and see here, observe here carefully, the highlighted text will be changed to the same properties, change to the same format as this text looks like, right? Okay, I am giving a refresh. See, this is the change. This is the use of the ID selector. Okay, but one thing that you need to keep in mind, that here we are giving the same, here we are giving the name as father, but it is not allowed to given the same name as this, like, okay. For example, here if you given the name as father, it will not be allowed to us, because in ID attribute it is case sensitive. That means you are not able to allow the same name for the different property tags. Okay, this is the different property of p. Okay, this is the different p tag, and this is the different p tag. For the different p tags, we need to include the attribute of our p tag with a different reference names. Okay, here if you given father, we need to change the name from here differently, like that's why I'm giving ln. Okay, if you want to give the same reference for both the paragraphs, in that purpose we can use the class selectors. Okay, for that reasons we are using the class selectors. Okay, which makes our code more readable and the more easier, right? Okay, let us see those things also. Okay, for suppose I'm going to list items here. Okay, better to take these items. Okay, for this list items, if I want to make every list items, okay, if I want to make these four public, protected, private, default, these four list items in a class, that means with the same name. For example, if I give class, I am using class attribute here. Make a look over it. By using class, I want to give similar all. And one thing you need to remember here is, if you want to give two or more words to your attributes, we need to make a note of it that you should be separated them by using dash symbol. Okay, by using dash or by using an underscore also. We should use underscore or dash for separating the two words in a reference name. Okay, make a note of it. And for example, I want to give my class name as similar all. And in the list, for every list items, I am using the same class name. Okay, I am copying it from here. I am pasting over it here. And the same I am using for every four list items. Okay, if I go to style.css, now I want to make sure that here for accessing the for accessing the selectors for those class items, we need to use dot symbol. Okay, by using dot, we can access the class attributes here in the selectors. Okay, by using dot, we are giving the name as similar elements, right? Similar all. This is the name that we have given to our class attribute. And after opening the curly braces, okay, we can include the font size, which is I want to give for your identification, I want to make them 40 pixels. Okay, I am using font weight. I need to add another property in this video, that font weight. To make them in a bold format, we can use font weight. Here we can use bold. Okay, and font family, I want to change my font family in this. Like I will use the same as sans serif. See, observe here the four main access modifiers carefully. I am giving a refresh. See, this is the change. Here what we done is, we have created one class attributes in every list items. In each of these four list items, we are giving the class attributes with a similar name, that is similar all. The reference name is similar all. For that similar all reference name, we have created one selector. For four of these lists, we are using a single reference name, that is similar all. It will be accessed by using the dot operator. Okay, it will be accessed by using the dot symbol. Okay, after creating a selector, I have given some properties like font size, font weight, and font family. Okay, I think you have a good picture about what is ID selectors and what are class selectors. Basically, we are generally using class selectors for making our presentation a very beautiful looking, because in ID selectors we can't give the same reference name for different tags, right? For example, you are not allowed to give the same father as this ID. Okay, for this ID attribute, we are not allowed to give the same attributes, same reference names, right? But in the class selectors, we are allowed to give the same reference names for the different list items for the different tags. Okay, this is the main difference between the ID selector and the class selector. I think you have a good picture about it, and we will catch up in the next video. Thank you.